Sometimes, two people can survive the exact same pain and still become completely different. Two children lost everything in the desert, but only one of them still said thank you. And what happened next changed both of their lives forever. One brother blamed the world for every tragedy, while his sister smiled through the pain. But neither of them knew their animals were becoming exactly like them. The cruelest storm in the desert didn't destroy their home. It revealed who they truly were. A grateful heart saved 4 lives in the middle of a deadly desert, while anger almost destroyed them all. The strange part wasn't that they lost everything. The strange part was what happened after they chose how to react. One child thanked life for every little blessing. The other cursed every loss. Years later, the desert answered both of them differently. Their animals copied every emotion they felt, and one day, that became terrifying. Even with almost nothing left, Liana still chose kindness. Zane could not understand how gratitude survived inside suffering. Their animals slowly became reflections of their hearts. The desert became their only teacher. But nobody noticed something dangerous was happening. Pain began shaping them long before they understood it. The storms outside were not the only storms they faced. Inside their hearts, something far more powerful was growing. Liana learned to protect hope. Zane learned to protect his anger. One heart became softer through suffering. The other became harder. Their mother once warned them, grateful hearts survive storms longer. But Zane never believed her. Then the desert struck again. A violent storm tore through their tiny home. The sky disappeared behind walls of sand. The wind screamed through the night like a monster. Zane saw destruction, but Liana searched for meaning. While Zane cursed the storm, Liana quietly rebuilt what remained. One heart rebuilt, the other only broke further. And then the storm revealed something hidden beneath the sand. Water. A hidden underground spring buried beneath their home. Life hiding beneath destruction. But instead of changing, Zane became even angrier. Because grateful people scared him. Years passed, and both hearts continued growing in opposite directions. Liana turned the water into life. Flowers bloomed where nothing once survived. Travelers found hope beside her lanterns. Children laughed around her. And Nuru became a symbol of comfort in the desert. But Zane pulled further away from everyone. Koda grew larger, more aggressive, more feared. Zane believed kindness only made people weak. Liana believed kindness made people human. At night, the difference between them became impossible to ignore. Liana and Nuru watched the stars peacefully beneath warm lantern light, while Zane and Koda sat alone inside darkness. But then, the desert tested both of them in a way neither could imagine. A monstrous sandstorm rose across the horizon, bigger than any storm the village had ever seen. Fear spread everywhere. Families ran desperately for shelter. And in that moment, both siblings faced the same choice. Liana opened her home to everyone. Zane refused. We barely survived ourselves, but Liana still welcomed them in. Nuru comforted frightened children, while Koda only scared them further. Then the storm became a monster. Roofs collapsed, animals screamed, the sky vanished behind chaos, and suddenly a child became trapped beneath falling debris. Everyone froze, nobody moved, except Nuru. The tiny fox ran directly into danger, and Liana followed without hesitation. But Zane hesitated, and that hesitation would haunt him forever. Liana rescued the child, but the storm injured her badly. Still, she protected others before herself. And when the storm finally ended, the village survived mostly because of her courage. The people cried with gratitude. They thanked her for saving their lives. But standing alone in the crowd, Zane noticed something painful. Nobody thanked him. That night, all his buried anger finally exploded. I suffered too. Why does nobody care about my pain? And softly Liana answered, because pain can make hearts softer or harder. But Zane could not hear her anymore. So he disappeared into the desert darkness with Coda. And deep inside the freezing dunes, the desert finally showed him what anger had turned him into. The night winds became deadly. Food disappeared. Water ran out. And for the first time in his life, Zane felt completely alone. Then Coda collapsed beside him, weak, exhausted, dying. And suddenly, Zane saw himself inside the wolf he had raised, a creature shaped by fear, by anger, by bitterness. For the first time, Zane cried. Holding Coda close, he whispered, "I turned you into my anger." Meanwhile, back in the village, Liana realized they were missing. And despite everything, she went searching for him, because kindness does not disappear when people deserve it least. Sometimes that is when it matters most. Guided by moonlight and hope, Liana and Nuru crossed the deadly dunes. And finally, they found him. Unconscious beside Coda, broken by the very darkness he carried for years. And in the moment Zane expected judgment, he received kindness instead. Liana gave him her final water, exactly like before. Just as she once shared her last drop with Nuru, she now shared it with him. And finally, Zane broke. "After everything, why do you still help me?" Liana smiled through tears and answered, "Because losing kindness is the only real tragedy." And for the first time ever, Coda approached Nuru peacefully. No growling, no fear, only silence. Healing silence. Months later, the desert no longer looked the same. Flowers spread across the dunes. Lanterns glowed warmly through the night. Children laughed beside flowing water. Travelers found safety there. And Zane slowly became the person he once needed most. Now, he shared food with strangers, helped lost travelers, protected the weak. And Coda became calm, loyal, protective. The desert never changed first. Their hearts did. Because when life takes something from you, you can become bitter or become grateful for what still remains. And sometimes, gratitude becomes the reason life gives everything back. Gratitude does not erase pain, but it transforms the heart that carries it.